Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Technical Analysis Made Simple. Before we proceed with the video, there are few things I want to share. First of all, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly please subscribe to it. This is my channel's name. There are a lot of videos which will be helpful to you. This is my Twitter handle, so please follow there as well because I keep sharing my views and information on Twitter. This is the Telegram channel that I have recently started. The name is the same. There are currently 21 subscribers and here also I keep posting a lot of views. So as you can see, I had posted about India Mart when it was crossing 8400 right at the breakout, and before that we had also caught it at 4800. Now it is around 10k. So if you want views from me, you can join this. Follow me on Twitter and I keep sharing my views here. The channel is free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. Just be there and take benefit of free knowledge. Now a quick disclaimer. This video is solely for learning purpose. Here I am expressing my views and my analysis. The decision that you make will be your own. So we will look into FIA inflow data and option chain. Then we will look at global market technical analysis. Then we will do domestic market technical analysis, followed by some focus sectors, and then conclusion and key takeaway. So let's start the video. First of all, let's see how FII data has been panned. We know that the highest inflow of money come from the FIIs, and that's why it is important to track it. If we see since July, they have been pumping money for the exception of September where they pulled out some money. Now if you see, in January they had pumped in 9,000 approx crores of rupees into the Indian markets. If you see in February, in the last 5 days, they have already crossed this. So February can see even higher inflow of money. I am not very sure of the DIE data here, but then these two are always opposite, and FIA being a larger force than DII, we can concentrate on this. Yes, if both go into a selling mode, that can be a concern, but until that happens, we need not worry. Now let's try to analyze this option chain. If we are not very familiar with the option chain, then just bear with me for 2 minutes. I will try to explain. If anyone was following the market on Friday, we had seen a ping pong dance between 14,900 and 15,000. Now let me explain why that happened. If you see, the highest OI are at 15,000 and 14,900. This is the immediate highest OI. Hence, when market was falling here, people who had written the 14,900 put options, they started buying. And when market was trying to break out above 15,000, these people started selling in the market, and hence market remained in the range of these two. Now going forward also, these two bounds are very important. If they break, then what happens? On the higher side, we see that there are resistance on each level. If 15,000 breaks, then 15,100 will be a big resistance, and then 15,200 also has good open interest. Highest open interest is at 15,500. So we can expect that in normal conditions, market is not breaking 15,500 within next week. The second one, if we see on the put side, the next major support comes out at 14,800, and 14,500 is pretty much strong. So we can say that 14,500 to 15,500 can be a good range. Highest open interest is at 14,000. So in any unusual case, we can go and stick at 14,000. Last piece of information here. If you see, the in the money call writers started unwinding on Friday. This clearly means that they feel that they are trapped. This is a bullish sign. If you see in the money put writers, they started writing in the money, which means that they feel that these levels will be taken out. At least they are very hopeful that 15,000 will be taken out. Now just bear this in mind. We will verify this with the chart as well. Let's proceed. Let's look at global market analysis before coming back to the domestic markets. So we are looking at the weekly chart of S&P 500. If you see, we were following this pattern for a very long time, that is widening wedge formation, or it is also called a megaphone pattern. Here the breakout happened, first retest, second retest, and a strong rebound. This is a clear breakout, and this is very bullish. Second, let's look at Nasdaq. If you see Nasdaq, I have drawn the Fibonacci extension levels here, and this was the pattern we were following. You can follow my last videos to see that we were following this triangle pattern, and its target comes out somewhere around 13,900. Also, there is 2.618 level, that is 261.8% extension level of this fall that has happened, which is placed somewhere around 14,850. So Nasdaq can give a rally towards 14,850 in coming weeks, and 13,900 seems to be possible in the next week itself. Overall, here also it is very bullish. Now let's look at DAX, that is Germany index. If you see, it has also started making a new high. There was some profit booking here, and now it has bounced. This pattern is called kicker pattern. If you are not familiar with this pattern, then kindly check my candlestick series, where I have explained this pattern very clearly. So kicker patterns are very bullish on a support level. So here we can consider breakout, support, and then a kicker pattern. Here also continuation can happen on the upside. Now this is the Nikkei chart. Nikkei chart, if you revisit my yearly outlook, then I had said that Nikkei can hit 39,250 by year end, or maybe by next year. That target is still intact. Here also we see that after breaking through this support level, it has given a strong rebound from here, and here also journey should continue forward. Overall, all the global indices, that is major global indices, they look very positive. So the global scenario seems positive. Now one information with respect to event, it seems that $1.9 trillion relief package has been passed by the Senate and the House, and that will again fuel the market, and the sentiments can remain bullish in the next week. Now let's look at DXY. This is the dollar index. We have already discussed earlier that dollar index plays a very important role with respect to the move in gold and emerging markets. So we were expecting a bounce from here towards 92. If you see, then the last week high was 91.6, which was almost 92, and here we see a rejection, which was a sell-off from here. Now it will be interesting to see whether dollar starts getting even stronger and proceeds further, or it starts falling. If it starts falling, emerging market including India will start rising again, as the money will flow into emerging markets. Let's see gold. Now see the correlation. Since here there was a sell-off, in gold we can see a buying from the demand zone. We are highlighting that 1780, 1760 is a very good demand zone in gold, and you can see that is a high volume rejection candle here. So gold can go into a range, that is 1960 to 1780 range. If it start falling down, then the next stop will be very low, that is around 1670, 1680. In terms of rupees, gold can be a good investment if you find it around 45,000, 45,500 levels, and in dollar terms that would be somewhere around 1760 levels. I think I have not calculated exactly, but it could be around 1760 levels, and similarly on the rupee term it will be around 45,500 levels, 45,600 levels. There you can start investing. You can put some amount into that, and then you can wait for what's next. I will keep updating you. Now let's jump into the domestic market analysis. So this is the monthly chart of Nifty. If you see, Nifty was trending in this channel for a very long time, that is since 2008 top. Now here, this was the breakout candle, this was the follow-up candle, and then we had a shooting star. But this shooting star has been negated by the last week candle. This candle is not yet over. I agree to that. But since the high is taken out, there is a very less chance that this shooting star will now be effective, because ideally there should have been a break of low and then continuation in this direction for the shooting star to be effective. See this shooting star, how it broke down and then follow up. You can also see this pattern, that is bearish engulfing. It follow through. But since this is negated, I am having a bullish view here. This is the weekly chart. This is the same channel highlighted there, and this is the trend line from March low. As you can see, this trend line is not yet broken, not even once. There is not even a whipsaw. And here we had a small profit booking which gave rise to that shooting star on monthly, and then here we have a very big bullish engulfing candle, right? If you try to remember, here we had the similar situation. There was a rally, sell off, and then negation of that candle, rally further advanced. Here also we can have a similar situation and it can advance further, or it can try to consolidate in this range. Now the important levels. 14,500 is a level that I am assuming that market can come back to test. It may not, but I am assuming it can come back, because there was a very small dohi kind of candle on Friday. So there's chances that at all time highs there can be some profit booking and market can come. So what happens after a breakout? After a breakout, market generally comes to test it. See, when this channel broke out, market came to test it and then found buyers here. So here also similar thing can happen. Market can come back to test 14,500. The next level will be 13,600 and the last level for defense will be 12,430. All these three levels should be used for buying and not selling. At least you can accumulate your earlier stocks or which are facing some good correction. Then you can start buying here. If we break 12,430, then much lower levels can come, and there we need to be cautious. For now, at least till the trend line is intact, don't have any bearish views. Let's look at Bank Nifty. I am starting from weekly chart because on the weekly we have this huge candle which gave breakout above the all-time high. Nifty had broken much earlier, but then Bank Nifty breakout was due, which happened last week. Now the interesting part here is we have a gravestone dohi here. Now what does a gravestone dohi imply? Gravestone dohi is a very bearish candle, right? So here I am expecting a profit booking provided the high is intact. Same condition which was in Nifty here. So if we open or start falling below the low of this candle, then there can be a pullback towards this trend line and then we can continue the advance. I'm not saying this is bearish. It is just that there can be a small correction or profit booking that can come because of this big momentum. But if we open above this candle or during the day also we break the high of this candle, then the momentum will continue. Remember this. This was a shakeout movement which I wanted to highlight. On the weekly chart, this was where the shakeout happened. Now let's move on to focus sectors. Auto sector looks good to me. See, this was the place where there was a head and shoulder breakdown and then auto sector went down towards this low. So it fell from 11,000s towards 4,000s and now it has completely recovered. This trend line is intact and here we can see that after it reached the neckline, there was a sell-off and then continuation of the move. So in the coming days, auto can be in focus. It can go into a consolidation phase, but then it will continue. This is what the chart says. The next is pharma sector. See, pharma sector is very interesting. Pharma sector topped out in 2015. If you see this pattern, here it topped out and it started falling till 6,000s. So pharma sector was literally halved in value. Now it has started recovering, and if you see, there was a 3-week sell-off, and this is very clear why there was a sell-off, right? You are trying to hit all-time high, the sellers will be there and they will book profit, as simple as that. But this rebound of last week is very interesting, and I think it is now ready to break out and hit new highs again. So pharma stocks can be in focus in the coming weeks. The heavyweight in this index is Sun Pharma. So Sun Pharma, Lupin, and even the mid-cap pharma stocks can be in focus. So keep an eye on them. Now let's look at the key takeaways. So remain bullish on the market, but manage your risk as the markets are hitting all-time high. This means that you have to be very careful of sudden and sharp correction, and you should not get afraid of them until the levels are breached. Next is keep nailing profit where you have ample of them. So for example, if you are holding a stock and it has become twice, thrice, or even 50% profit in like very short time, you should plan to book some profits there. You would not like if you go from 50% profit to 50% loss, right? That is not a wise decision in the markets. And plan your new entries only at the low risk points, so that even if they are broken, you do not lose much. Always remember that you decide what you give to the market. Market cannot take more money from you if your risk is defined. So always define that. Scale out in the time frame. So if you find daily and hourly time frame to be very volatile, you are not able to keep up with them, scale out to weekly and monthly time frame. Work with respect to that. Think about your stocks, monitor them on Friday basis. Do not look at any other day. This will help fine tune your entries, exit and decision making to a very large extent. And consolidations are expected, and if some correction comes with respect to the levels that we just discussed, use them as a buying opportunity and try to buy only near major supports. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much. Please like and share this video so that maximum people get benefited. Thank you so much.